Does anybody do a better job as far as hiring head coaches than the Pittsburgh
Oh,
Steelers?
Oh
okay. Well,
yeah,
yeah, no.
in sports in general, not just in the
Any in
NFL.
sports in general.
It goes back to what I was just saying about the Lakers, man. Some franchises you just expect them to mess up, and some that you just know that they're not. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They set the bar for hiring head coaches, man. They hire head coach. They always get a championship out of them, and they ride them until they're done. They're done being the guy. So let's just think about in my lifetime, they've had three coaches. I'm 45 years old. They've had him. They've had what's the dude with the chin?
Bill
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 Cowher.
Cowher
Cowher.
and
And
Chuck
won a Super
Noll.
Bowl
Coward,
with
and
each
Chuck
one.
Noll.
And
Huh?
won a Super Bowl with each one.
Yeah, won a Super Bowl each one. Chuck Noll won a Super Bowl. So they've won a Super Bowl with each. Have they only had three coaches?
No,
Yeah.
since 1969 they've had three, but they've had more before that.
Yeah, well, whatever they've been doing it, and they've set the bar on hiring a head coach. The Lakers should consult them and see how did they get this done, because when Tomlin got there, we didn't know Mike Tomlin. You know, he was a random assistant coach. Where'd he come from? Like Minnesota, I believe. And he went there and he was very enthusiastic. I remember looking at him, and all I could focus on is his eyes, because he got some huge eyes, and he just looked excited. He looked like a football player to me, and I was like, man, dude gonna be good. I would like to play for him. And you hear him talk, and you hear all of his former players say they loved playing for him. You know what I mean? You never hear a bad word about him, not even from AB. AB didn't even talk bad about him. So you know what I mean? And AB don't like nobody when he gone. So so I'm just saying, Tomlin, I think is well deserved. Another 3 years. He hasn't had a losing record as a coach yet, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. I don't really know what they're doing with the quarterback position right now, but he showed last year he don't care who playing quarterback. They got 10 wins with them dudes. So the two dudes that he got right now battling for the number one position, they can definitely get them 10 wins if he got 10 win with those dudes last year. So I believe he's in a great position. I don't think that there's a better organization hiring coaches wise than them. I can think of a lot of teams that can do better hiring coaches. Some have never hired a good head coach. Some may have hit once or twice. Saints. And they should call the Saints should call Pittsburgh and see what they do in hiring coaches, because right now I think we're gonna be hiring another coach pretty soon too.
Okay, I'll go next. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the best franchise in sports when it comes to hiring coaches. Three coaches since 1969. My pops was born in 1969. That's 55 years.
Wow.
Three coaches, and they've all won a Super Bowl. Um, Literally, if the Pittsburgh Steelers were interviewing me, I think it's the first job I'd take because I know it's job security.
Yep.
Okay, even if you're really bad your first couple years, you know they're going to be patient with you. Last year there was rumblings about, oh, this might be it for Mike Tomlin. This might be it. And then he makes the playoffs with terrible quarterbacks, and they're like, look, we're making a playoffs with terrible quarterbacks. There's no reason to move on from Mike Tomlin, and there isn't. There isn't. Why? Why? Um, uh,
They're like, get rid of him, give him more money. That's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, he's consistent. Sure, he hasn't won a title in a long time, but as long as you're making the playoffs, you're giving yourself a chance every year. And he hasn't had the best quarterbacks. I think since Roethlisberger, that's all he really needs to figure out. But like I said, he's still making a playoffs with them, with these terrible quarterbacks. So there's no reason for me to give up on Mike Tomlin. They're the best franchise. They have to be. I mean, their last three hires, they've won a title with each of them, and it's been for the last 55 years. I mean, this isn't even debatable. Salute the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I actually wish more franchises were more patient with coaches. C loves when the coach wins early on, but I don't trip if a coach doesn't win very early on. Give them time. I think, especially if that coach has won you a title, I swear to God, if I was a GM and a coach won me a title, that guarantees the next 7 years for sure. And then we'll reevaluate after those 7 years.
I agree.
I'm very patient in terms of my coaches. And I never call for coaches to be hired within first couple of years. So salute the Steelers.
I agree. I don't. I'm not a just gung ho if you win early. My point is that coaches nowadays don't get as long to do it. That's my only thing. And you're referring to Harbaugh. Coaches don't get 9 years to win a title. That's an aberration. that's not the norm. You don't get 9 years. And I don't think I think he's not going to get 9 years in LA to win them a title or to at least become relevant. So I mean, he's not going to have that Michigan security that he had. But I mean, like I said, I mean, I think that that if you do win, to echo what you said, if you win a title for me, you good for 7 years at least, and possibly you're possibly good until you're ready to go. As long as you have us in contention, like Sean Payton never had to leave New Orleans ever.
Yeah.
He could have been a coach until he was ready to retire. He won us at one chip, huh?
Some Joe Paterno stuff.
Yeah.
Some guys that be there forever. Like, obviously they put Joe Paterno out later on in his career, but
yeah, but that wasn't
forever. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, when certain people, when you win in a certain place, you never have to go. He won in New Orleans, and I said earlier this year when he returns to New Orleans this year that he might get booed. I doubt it. I doubt it. You never know with New Orleans fans how it's gonna happen. It actually depends. If we have like a montage playing on the big screen, he won't get booed for sure. Then we'll pay reverence to him. But yeah, you just never know. I mean, I think that's gonna be like week 6 or something like that. If we having a great year or we're having a bad year, we might be happy. We might be happy that he's gone if we're having a good year, and we might be pissed off that he's gone if we 0-6 when we play him. So so you never know. He might get booed. But certain places, man, if you win, you good there for the rest of your career. You don't have to worry about that. Mike Ditka could go back and coach the Bears right now.
Oh, come on, see, man.
Right. I guarantee you, if Mike Ditka wanted to coach the Bears.
Coach Pop ain't going nowhere in San Antonio, no matter what happens.
Oh no, Pop ain't ever going nowhere.
Pop's gonna leave when he's ready to leave San Antonio.
He's too old, anyways.
Right. But yeah, I agree with y'all. That's why I put it as a topic. I want to know if somebody was, and maybe Q has somebody. I just can't think to myself, unless you just talk about one coach being there forever, like a Popovich, like at the end of the day, like what they're doing out there and for Pittsburgh is it's remarkable, man. I know Baltimore has had Harbaugh for a while now, but
he can end up on a hot seat.
You think so?
I think in 2 or 3 years, if he hadn't done anything like, he can end up on a hot seat.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. I feel like
I don't think he's in there like that yet.
I don't know. Feel good about it, but yeah, I would say shout out to Pittsburgh, man. They do a great job as far as what they've been able to do in that front office, and even the Rooney Rule came from Pittsburgh. So that like Pittsburgh just does it the right way in a sense.
Yeah, I don't think there's no franchise in the NFL that does it better than the Steelers. With you look at who's been their recent coaches with Tomlin, Bill Cowher, Chuck Noll. I never seen Chuck Noll coach a game. I just hear things as a fan, but I wouldn't think he's the best in sports, though, in my opinion.
Oh no, I don't think. I
You
don't think
saying Mike
Tomlin-
Tomlin the best in sports?
No, I know as far as like what the Pittsburgh Steelers does, as far as the hiring a coach, I don't think it's the best, in my opinion. I think it's the New York Yankees, man. And I just don't think it's fair to say, because like you mentioned the three coaches, because baseball, they've been doing it the very long, like generations long. But from what I've seen, what I've experienced as a fan, from seeing uh Joe Torre, um Joe Torre, was it Joe Girardi, Aaron Boone, I think the Yankees do a really good job. And I think New York, I think if you want to say what's a better coaching job right now, the New York Yankees or the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Oh,
it's the New York Yankees.
But yeah, but the Yankees are.
And I
come
think
on, man.
I think the Yankees, they do it better than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Who's the Yankees coach right now?
Aaron Boone.
Man, nah.
And he's also a
A
former.
former player.
Yeah, I know he's a former
And
player.
they're a good team. Also, they're always been a contender every
They're
year.
really good right
They
now.
have not won the title yet under his era, but the last two eras with Joe Torre and Joe Girardi, they have won titles and gone to the World Series.
Now, if we talking front office, I put the Yankees at the top because they always build a hell of a team. But so how'd it go? It went Joe Torre, Girardi, then Boone.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I remember. I could. They might have been a player. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think that's exactly how it went.
Yeah. That's originally how it went. Torre was the first guy that
Joe
started.
Torre, man, that's my dog, man. Shout out to
Yeah, Joe Torre. Yeah,
I think they do a really good job when it finds to finding their coaches, or you call managers.
See, the Yankees, to me, to what Keel's point is, I'll say this about the Yankees. I play fantasy football like I'm the New York Yankees. That's exactly how I play, because I believe that you go after whoever you think is a good player. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to land that player. They don't care if they gotta pay Aaron Judge the most money. They don't care if they gotta pay Stanton the most money. They don't care. Like, they're going to pay it. And I'm the same way when it comes to fantasy. If you say, X, why you gave up a 5-for-1? I don't care what you think. I did what I thought was best for my team.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Yankees.
That's why people hate the New York Yankees, and people hate trading with you in fantasy football.
I will say this. X, he really does live by that, and he actually got me on that, bro. Because I'm about the same way, man. Hell, I'm gonna give you a 5-for-1 too if I really want that boy. Let me get him, man. Let me get him. If it's gonna make my team better, I don't give a damn what you want. Here you go. If that's gonna make my team better. But yeah, that's you're right. That's just like the Yankees. The Yankees are like that. I say their front office is better. I'll say their front office is better, but I can't say their managerial coaching manager. Nah.
Shout out to both organizations, though, man.
At Team Juggernaut. Never fall for X's words when he says these words. I'll tell you what.